Taehyung's POV. Guards. More men came in, God knows from which hidden place, and attacked me from all directions. I was able to a handful of them and fist fight others, but they were too many. Meanwhile, Kai in 𝐥𝐥𝐞 and Yuki's direction, making me stand still at my place, and his guards grabbed me. Never in my wildest dream did I ever imagine that Kim Taehyung, the ruthless, heartless Mafia, would be saving someone's life instead of taking it. Such a drama from you, Kai. You did all of this to get what? My attention? Here you have it. Now let's have one-on-one. Let's fight like men. Only if you are one. Do you really think you are in position to mock me? Guards, bring him down on his knees. I was being pushed down on my knees by all of his men, but I resisted with all of my strength while glaring at Kai. His guards struck me behind my knee joint to make me kneel down, but I still didn't move. I was struck by one of the guards on my head, near where I had previously been struck by my bind. The pain is still here. Ironic, every emotion of mine, whether it is of happiness, sadness or pain, is related to her. Author's POV. They still were trying to push him down, but when Kai noticed that he was holding on to his pride and refusing to kneel down in front of him, 𝐿𝐥𝐸 and 𝐥𝐸 yelped and groaned in pain as the bullet hit the upper blade of his shoulder. It didn't pass through his body but was enough to cause bleeding and injury. 𝐥𝐸 controlled the pain as he saw the girl in front of him flinch badly. He hugged the terrified Yuki as she sat wide eyes open, holding her breath. As Taehyung saw 𝐥𝐸 being, he immediately stopped crying and kneeled down, making Kai give in. This is really your downfall, Kim Taehyung. The great villain to a pathetic hero? Just because of a woman. That's your jealousy speaking. You are afraid of me. I'm not. If you weren't, then you would be fighting me alone, not your guards. You can talk in this tone only because your guards are holding me down and my family is on gunpoint. You're nothing on your own. Enough! Guards, beat him to pulp. Following Kai's instructions, the guards began to strike Tai with kicks, chains and hockeys. Drenched in blood, Tai still glared at Kai fearlessly. A little bit, shall we? When no one responded, he went up to Yuki and 𝐥𝐸 and placed his hand on 𝐥𝐸's shoulder directly over his open fresh wound, causing 𝐥𝐸 to groan loudly. I'll take this as a yes. emptied his but put one bullet back in the revolver and loaded it while approaching Tae. He stood right in front of him and smirked. Russian roulette. Do you know this game? Tae raised his head to look at him and said, "Do you really have the heart to play this game?" I have changed some rules for you. I know it. That's the last circle you are taking on this planet. So, as well, there is only one bullet in the sky. And I'll be your lover, JK, and you. One battle. Let's see who is the unlucky one enough to win the round. You ruined the game. And now it's your time. Stating the sky unexpectedly towards JK head, taking everyone off guard. But the bullet didn't come out. Taehyung breathed out loudly as this was also sudden and nerve-wracking for him. JK's grip on Yuki tightened as he knew that Kai is going to play with her next. Don't you dare, Kai. Tae yelled at Kai as Kai grinned and pointed his at Yuki's head. He is shocked, but JK was fast enough to put Yuki's head in his chest and cover her completely, and she finally cried out loud while clenching his shirt tightly. Bullet didn't came out, and that's mean March Taehyung's turn. Kai laughed out loud and knelt down to face Taehyung. Any final words? You'll always be a coward. I thought you would say your lover's name, but never mind. Tae shook his gun and aimed it at Taehyung's forehead. JK fired a shot towards Kai, but missed the mark as a guard kicked the gun out of his hand and hit him hard on his head, making him his half-conscious body fall on Yuki for a while as he tried to regain his consciousness. Bye-bye, Mr. King. Taehyung closed his eyes, thinking about his wine and their incomplete love story, regretting his action towards wine and blaming himself for not being able to save her sister. He was ready to embrace his end with a smile on his lips while remembering his life. of regret for taking someone's life while holding a black weapon like an expert.